thank you for showing interest in the position that we advertised for member of IEBC and putting in your application. Secondly, to congratulate you for being shortlisted for the same, and that's why you're here for this interview this morning. And so we will take a brief moment to introduce ourselves, and then we will come to you. You have a notebook and a pen, just in case you need to note something down. Please, you can use it. Welcome.
Thank you.
Linda, please.
Good morning, Wakili.
Good morning.
My name is Linda Kiome. I serve this panel as a vice chair. I want to take this opportunity to welcome you to this interview session.
Thank you.
Chair, I must confess that Melisa is one of our advocates, a young one at that, and her being my constituent will be able to do objective analysis and assessment for her interview. Thank you.
Melisa, habari ya asubuhi.
Salama.
Naitwa Andrew Tanui, mwanachama wa jopo hili la uteuzi na karibu.
Asante.
Ms. Ngamia, good morning.
Good morning.
Caroline Kituko, a member of the panel. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good morning, Melisa.
Good morning, Prof.
Adam Solo is my name, a member of the selection panel.
Thank you.
Good morning, Melisa.
Good morning.
My name is Nicodemus Bore, and karibu sana.
Asante.
Good morning, Melisa.
Good morning.
My name is Fatuma Ali Saman, a member of the panel. Please feel welcome.
Thank you.
Good morning, Wakili, and karibu sana. My name is Koki Muli Grigno, and I'm a member of the panel.
Thank you, Daktari.
Good morning, Melisa.
Good morning.
My name is Evans Misati. I'm a member of this selection panel, and we welcome you.
Asante.
Now we'll come to you, Melisa, and ask that you introduce yourself, highlight your those things in your profile that you think are significant for us to note and for the role that you have applied for. Let us know if you are a member of any professional society or group, and if you have received any award in the course of your career and life. Please proceed.
Thank you, Daktari. Chairperson and members of this selection panel. My name is Ngania Melisa. I'm an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. My academic journey, I did complete my bachelor's degree from Makerere University. I graduated in January 2010. Thereafter, I proceeded to the Kenya School of Law, where I did my postgraduate diploma. I was admitted to the bar on 18th of November 2011. Therefore, I have 13 years cumulative experience as an advocate of the High Court of Kenya. I also furthered my education. I did my Master of Laws degree from the University of Nairobi. I graduated in December 2018. Thereafter, I did enroll for my doctorate from the same university, the University of Nairobi. I did submit my thesis for examination last year in September. I am awaiting the university to invite me to defend my thesis.
That's a Doctor of Philosophy or a Doctor of Law?
Doctor of Laws.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you. I have also, in the course of my professional journey, pursued some of the professional courses. I did my mediation training in 2019 with the Mediation Training Institute. I have done arbitration to the level of member. I am a member of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators. Currently, I started my legal practice at Harvey and Companies. I was exposed in the practice of law. I got the opportunity to represent clients in that firm. Thereafter, I worked for Waregian Company Advocates for a period of 2 years, and then ventured to my own practice at Ngani and Company Advocates, where I am from 2019 to date. Also, I teach at the Kenya School of Law. I am an adjunct lecturer. I teach civil procedure. I have taught for the last 5 years. I've also had the privilege to serve in the public sector. The first was the HIV and AIDS Tribunal, which I joined in 2019. My term came to an end in 2022. There, I gained the skills of being able to hear and determine disputes of the litigants that came before us. I also got the experience then to write judgments, to give decisions. In the tribunal, it is a 5-member tribunal. So then being collegial and reaching a consensus was very important. And I'm happy to report that I think we did well within what we could be able. We gave decisions that were of majority. And at the time that we were leaving the tribunal, we left with no backlog. I've also had the privilege to serve at the Kenya Deposit Insurance Corporation as a board member. Again, that also gave me the purview of what it means to be in the public service. I served there for a period of 2 years. In December last year, I was appointed to sit at the Financial Inclusion Fund Board, commonly known as the Hustler Fund. That is where I am still serving to date. Now, Chair and members of this panel, what makes me then a suitable candidate for this position of the IEBC? Like I had illuminated, I have had the opportunity to represent our clients in court where I have prosecuted election petition disputes. I did have the privilege to serve under my senior at Harvey and Company in 2013 and prosecuted 2 petitions. One went until the Supreme Court. That then ushered me to our electoral law landscape, the question of timelines and how you got to be diligent, because in every single thing, it becomes an issue before the courts. Again, in 2017, I had the privilege to work under my seniors, Senior Counsel Fred Ngatia, Kiragu Kimani, and represented the then president at the Supreme Court in both the first petition and the repeat petition. That again, Chair and members of this panel gave me the opportunity to learn under my seniors with so much experience, but also to pull myself through the process and again, broaden my skills in that basis. Again, in 2022, I was again privileged to represent one of the parties in the presidential petition and a gubernatorial petition in 2022. That then exposed me to our election landscape and what it entails, the environment, the timelines, and equally the need to be above board and keep the eye at the ball. Also serving as a board of director in Kenya Deposit Insurance Corporation, and the Hustler Fund, again, has been a privilege for me to now sit at a point where I know that I'm supposed to give strategic decisions to strategic direction to the corporation, and also know that at that point you must be decisive and you must make decisions. And the issue of corporate governance, that in my considered view plays central to the to any organization to thrive. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairperson and the members of this committee. Thank you.
Thank you. Linda, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Now, Ms. Ngania, which skills or professional experiences have best prepared you to thrive in this commission in the event you're taken up as a member, noting its high pressure and high stakes environment?
Thank you, Vice Chairperson, for that question. Like I have said, first of all, the handling of the election petitions it's a high impact. The timelines are very stringent. The Supreme Court, you got to prosecute it and deliver its decision within 14 days. So for me, that has, in my considered view, it has exposed me to the question of a high impact environment and the need to remain on board and also to continue. Equally, I must say that I am a product of people who have been very deliberate to see me propel in my career. I have mentors that have been very deliberate. I have an accountability system, and that to me helps me to stand out in an environment that is. Also, I have what I call a social support system that equally gives me grounded. When I leave home, I know that I have people that I can count on. And when I make decisions, I am privileged to have people who have mentored me and people who have walked with me the journey. And I have seen in their careers that they have excelled. And to me, then, that has been a pivotal role for me to pursue this role.
Thank you, Melisa. I wish you all the very best. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. I invite Caroline to ask some questions. Carol, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Ms. Ngania, Article 6 of the Constitution divides Kenya into counties. Then the first schedule has set out those counties into 47. Article 188 equally envisages the possibility for alteration of the boundaries for a county. Two questions. Number one, would you take us through the procedure that is to be used to alter county boundaries? And number two, what is the criteria applicable?
Okay, thank you, Madam Caroline. Yes, delimitation, sorry, the pronunciations are different, of boundaries is one of the mandates that is actually vested on the IEBC. Over and beyond, of course, the elections, then that becomes one of the mandates. So that IEBC then is mandated to review the existing you review the existing counties, and once you review, then you look at the population of the people vis-a-vis then the administrative landscape, and once then you it is considered that one of these is ripe for delimitation, you have to conduct public participation.
Okay,
Yes.
Council, before you
So-
carry on, I'm sorry to
No,
interrupt
no, no, it's
you.
fine.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. There's a clear constitutional difference between IBC reviewing county boundaries under Article 188 of the Constitution and under Article 88. 88 is specific to constituencies and wards. 188 is specific to counties. I would like we
Okay.
discuss a little bit about the mandate of the IBC insofar as Article 188 is concerned. What is the procedure? Remember, Article 6 has cut out in stone the territory of Kenya and the number of counties. However, the same constitution envisages that there is a possibility that we can alter the boundaries of the counties following a certain procedure that the constitution has established. My question was, what is this procedure and what should be taken into account to alter counties' boundaries?
As opposed to the 270 constituencies.
As opposed to the constituencies under Article 88.
Okay, I think I put my mind a lot on the 270 constituencies as opposed to the counties.
Our constituency is 270 in Kenya.
Sorry?
Our constituency is 270.
No, I'm saying the counties, the constituencies.
They are 270.
The constituencies, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's what the Constitution says, that of course in reviewing, they don't need to be more than that. And that's why I'm saying, Madam Caroline, I think I put my effort much on the constituencies as opposed to the county. Yeah.
Okay, so take us through the procedure for review of the county boundaries.
No, and that's why I told you that I put most of my energy on the constituencies and not on the county. Yeah, but of course, I'll be alive to that in case it falls on my desk. Yes. It's okay.
The mandate to review constituencies and ward. Article 89, I set out the criteria. You can help us with that criteria?
Yes, the criteria, of course, again, as I had said, is the one partaken by either IEBC or which once you look at the counties, the constituencies, and the criteria will be on the question of the population size, the population quota. And once then it falls within the threshold of a population quota to be reviewed, then in IEBC will proceed to undertake that exercise. In undertaking then that exercise, it is critical that public participation must be taken into consideration, especially for of course, the affected people, and also equally public participation at the point of the representatives, that becomes the parliament. And once that has been taken, and then you will go and now proceed with the delimitation of the boundaries. Once you delimit, you're supposed to publish then what has been what IEBC has come out with after the first process. After publication, both of course in the media and places that people can access, again, IEBC has to go to Parliament and present that report. Upon then approval, then it will be gazetted and it will come to then as into being.
All right, thank you very much for that. And I am just following up. One of the things that is pending right now within the IBC's mandate is the boundaries delimitation of constituencies and wards. Should you become successful, are you aware of any court decisions that have sought to clarify the role of the IBC in that process? And what are these principles the court set out that you would seek to apply?
Yes, I'm aware of the decisions that arose actually from the 2013, which was the 2013 delimitation process that the Court of Appeal decided on the question of the delimitation of that process. And of course, one of it is that it is a people-centered process, so that in the delimitation, of course, IEBC acts as the experts guiding a people-driven process, so that the views of the people should be considered in arriving at that position. That is one of the criteria that I remember.
Thank you very much. I expected you to give us a citation, but it's fine.
The citation of the case?
Yes.
You know, when you're preparing for the interview, so many things juggle up.
All right. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
but I
wish
know
you well.
it was before the presiding judge, that was Nyamoya then, the 5 bench that had that decision. But when you come here in the morning, of course, there are things that stick and others. Yeah,
Okay,
my apologies.
understood. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Chair.
Thank you very much. Madam Koki, please.
Thank you very much, Chair. Wakili.
Yes, Dr.
Please tell the panel and Kenyans who are watching you 3 ways or methods through which citizens can be disenfranchised or be prevented from participating in elections and electoral processes.
Thank you, Dr. 3 ways in which the Kenyan citizens can be defranchised. First of all is in the question of the registration of voters. If IEBC then does not give the opportunity to Kenyans to come out and register, then that becomes one of the ways in which citizens can be disenfranchised. Secondly, also, citizens can also be disenfranchised in not having the body that is supposed to do that process, IEBC, in place. So that when some of the things cannot be done, and then in that place, they'll be disenfranchised. Equally also, for example, now, the documents that you use to identify yourself as a voter, as somebody who has attained the age, that becomes then the passport or the national ID. In my considered view, and then the absence of that document to be registered, then you'll be disenfranchised in that respect.
Thank you. Let's take the example, the one method that you said, that citizens can be disenfranchised by IEBC not registering them as voters. How does that come about?
Oh, sorry, my apologies if my explanation never came out clearly. What I mean is,
that's okay. That's yes, okay. It's a follow-up question.
Yes, thank you, Dr. And, my view in that is this: remember, we must have points at which people have to come and register, and also the technology, the KIMS kits, so that if then IEBC does not consider the whole, you have to give these resources to everybody, to places where people can register. If you concentrate in one area, then in my considered view, another area would be disenfranchised. That's what I meant.
Okay, let's say those KIMS kits failed. For example, reports indicate that failures in KIMS kits is 15%, or 15% of the KIMS kits fail. How would you future-proof election technology, not just the KIMS kit, but all election technology, while maintaining manual safeguards if you are nominated as a member of IEBC?
Sorry, I didn't get your question clear. What would I safeguard?
I'm just following up on your mentioning of KIMS kit, and I'm just saying that in 2022, for example, during the election, the failure of Kim's kit was capped at 15%. And I'm saying that it doesn't only affect Kim's kit, it affects other technology. So if you become a member and you are called upon as a member of the commission to safeguard the failure of this technology, what strategies or what will you do?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Looking at also the report on if I might call the audits after the 2022 elections, of course, several proposals were put in place, and I think also IEBC had put in place, for example, the alphanumeric, the facial options, the alphanumeric. So that's, Dr. My point would be this. First of all, we have to look at what has been done. And secondly, then the reform to what has been proposed, and now actually the reality that we have. It is from that then that should pursue to enhance the technology in that respect. For example, one of the other recommendations that was put was the separation of the system, the electoral system that is used for transmission with vis-a-vis the IEBC internal system, so that from that audit then would be informed of where we are at and what we need to do, Dr.
Thank you very much, Wakili, and I wish you all the best. Chair, thank you very much.
Thank you. I come to FCPA. Can we please, FCPA?
Thank you, Chair. Melisa, IEBC has been experiencing late amendments of election laws in the country, which come about just before the conduct of the general elections. We've also had the courts making judgments up to the eve of the election. So what are the challenges that arises from those two aspects of late amendments to the election laws and court pronouncements on the eve of the elections in the conduct of elections? And if given an opportunity as a commissioner, how would you address those concerns and those two issues? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, FCPA Koech. On the effect of the court pronouncements and the late amendments, is it actually may go to the roots of IEBC's mandates to conduct the election. For example, in 2022, there was a decision from the High Court that required then the use of the manual register, and it came out very late in the time. So it can disorganize IEBC to conduct a free, fair, credible election that meets the constitutional litmus test. Hence, it is a challenge because then it goes to the core of your mandate. Equally also on the question of the late amendments, an amendment can throw the electoral body into a mode of disorganization. In my considered view, what could be done is this, FCPA. The conduct of the elections, in the success of elections, IEBC being the referee, you got a lot of stakeholders that are involved. Hence, the question of stakeholder management, in my considered view, plays a crucial and central role in and then trying to manage that those situations. Because then, for example, our judiciary, you could then partner with them, ask then the judiciary to give you the people who will be listening to this, affected with this, and you take through people towards to understand the election process. Sometimes these decisions actually do not come out on malice, in my considered view. It is just that somebody may not understand what it takes for it to come out at that point. So my approach, one of them would be stakeholder engagement and involvement, just telling these parties the processes, the stories, the goodwill. It is not that IEBC does not want these amendments or this law or the court too, because we have distinctive roles, but we coexist for the better of Kenyans. So for me, if people are informed, it might change their perspective. Thank you.
Thank you. I wish you well. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Evans Misati, please.
Thanks so much, Chair. Melisa, I also want to ask you a question related to the Parliament. In our current Parliament, we have 349 members of Parliament. Given that we have 290 constituencies in Kenya, where does which constituents does the others represent?
Thank you, Mr. Misati. They represent the special seats. We have then the nominations on special seats to fill the youth, people with living with disability, and women in that respect.
349 minus the youth. How many youths and who are the others? If you can account for them, please.
If I can account for them, we have the youth in that category. We have, of course, persons living with disability. Then we also have the allocations arising from the number of elective seats that a specific political party has garnered. Then we have the list that is submitted to IEBC, and then from there there will be now appointed basing on the strength of the people.
How many are they?
I can't say on the number, but I know it accounts within that group.
So if you had, if I tell you the number is 12, so if you had with the 290 constituencies, that brings to 337. Who are the rest to constitute the Parliament?
Yes, because we have the elected members, the ones who are elected. That is the first category. The second category arises from the special seats. Then we have the women representatives from the the women representatives for each county.
Yes, thanks so much. So now let's go to another about the youth, about the voter party.
Yes.
From where you sit, if you are given an opportunity and you're an IEBC commissioner, what message would you put to ensure that voter party is actually done away with?
Sorry?
How would you reduce the issue of voter party?
Okay.
The number of people,
especially on the youth. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Misati. On the question of voter apathy, especially in the youth, I've had a chance to work with the youth, the Gen Zs, as people refer to them, and it is about discussion. You know, I had a group that when I asked them about the things that I thought were obvious, I realized that it was not obvious to them. And I was like, okay, this is another constituency that I'm dealing with. But after my engagement with them and after making them see the need why they should actually register as voters and cast their votes, I think their perspective shifted. So for me, it is having tailor-made messages and knowing your audience. Because Mr. Misati, if I go to my father, let me use my father who is 85 years old, and tell him about the things that he does not understand, then he will tell me, young girl, those things don't work for me. So for me, I think it is segregating your stakeholders and being deliberate to note that they do participate. Because even in the 2022 elections, if you look at the report, actually the youth constituted around 40% of the registered voters. So as registration, they registered, but did they see a reason why they should cast their vote?
Lastly, as a follow-up question, what are some of the things that, let's now go to the youth. What are some of the things they cite that make them not to vote? Some of the things that they say, these are some of the things that make us not to be registered as voters, or even when they are registered, they do not turn up to vote. What are some of the things?
Some of these things is that they say that, most of the things, the decisions, does not consider us. You get it? We are not considered. So they feel that when you elect the people you elect, they do not have time to attend to the issues of the youth. Yeah.
Thanks so much, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Misati.
Thank you. I want to invite Fatuma to ask you some questions. Ms. Fatuma, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Madam Melisa, would you
Yes.
please tell the panel which key state and non-state actors should be part of the IEBC strategic stakeholders, and which policy tools should guide their identification and categorization?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Saman. One of the key then stakeholders, both the state and non-state. I'll start with the non-state, the civil societies. Those would be one of the key stakeholders that you must consider. When we come to the state parties, is the other complementing government institutions that are important. For example, the Media Council of Kenya becomes important. The Communication Authority of Kenya becomes also a very important stakeholder.
Which tool would you use to
categorize? Sorry.
Yeah, and
my apologies. You will have to map out your stakeholders. Then once you map out the stakeholders, you have a criteria for then enlisting them. Secondly, also now for you to have who participates, is there must be some form of accreditation in which they must then ascend to it and to agree to be bound by the criteria that should have set. And so accreditation becomes an important tool to then have them.
Thank you. That's the process. Which tools would you use to actually categorize them and identify them?
Maybe I'm not understanding the word tool, sorry, but
you've already identified a few. You've identified a few strategic stakeholders for the IEBC.
Yes.
Which tools would you use to categorize them and to also identify them?
Okay. Tools, maybe it's what they do. That would be one of the ways to then categorize them, the role that they will be playing within the process. And then now also you to identify them in that and now to accredit them to have them within the system. Sorry, I might not be getting
it. I wish you well.
Yeah.
Thank you. I invite Nicodemus to ask you some questions, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Melissa,
Yes, Mr. Bore.
the IEBC oversees a substantial public funds. Like in this year's request, they requested for about 61 billion shillings. What strategies would you introduce to prevent misuse of these funds and uphold accountability in the Commission's financial management?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bore. One of the things then that would be critical in management of the finances is that, first of all, there is the accounting officer whom the BAC will stop at within the IEBC, and that becomes the chief executive officer. And then secondly, also as the commission, the members of the commission, is that you must approve a procurement policy. There must be a procurement policy in place, and also then the policy and what they need to procure within that time, and that is it's in tandem with the budgets. Also looking at the budgets and the financial statements that would be presented to the commission would also be a good stopgap measure, and of course strengthening the audit function of the commission and ensuring that it is independent so that it can then deal with its work in that place. So having a procurement plan and policy in place, looking at reviewing the financial statements would be equally important, and then now also strengthening the audit function of the commission. And then finally is also the commission is required to present the financial statement to Parliament for purposes of accountability, and also looking at the reports from the Auditor General and appreciating whatever gaps that are there. The strengths that are there, you build them further. The gaps, and then you see how to minimize or completely then deal with it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and all the best, Ngania.
Thank you, Mr. Bore.
I want to invite Professor to ask you some questions, Prof.
Thank you, Chair. Melisa Yeko Ngania. Before I go to my questions, just a curiosity question.
Yes.
Rarely do we have an apostrophe in a name.
Oh, yeah.
What led to it?
What?
Having NG
and apostrophe.
Yes, yeah. I'm just trying to understand how that came about.
Oh, it makes a whole difference. But where I went to school, they didn't have the provision of an apostrophe. Yes. So it killed that. And people would say Ngania, but it's Ngania. So the apostrophe helps in the pronunciation of the name. Yes.
Very well. Thank you. Very interesting. One of the issues that has bedeviled IEBC is a trust deficit, and therefore matters integrity to the commission has become quite key. In your very young profession, as you grew up in your career, we saw you have confirmed here that you are serving under your mentors. And you know, by now, you know how Kenyans think politically. And that's where my first question comes in. That the Kenyans have a way of saying the president's lawyer. And you saw one of the president's lawyer pulling out that I don't want to distract the process because people are already talking. Do you think that having presented a president, a then sitting president, would affect how Kenyans judge you if you are a commissioner from where you sit?
Okay, thank you, Prof, for that question. I'll answer it in two limbs. In fact, I'm privileged to have had that opportunity because, remember, this commission will tell you, yes, you are a lawyer, but tell us, what is it that you have that it makes you relevant for this job? So that gives me then the experience that is required to man this job. So that to me is a plus. Secondly, then is that, of course, I learned today morning that one person pulled out. Before I put my application, I had a meeting first with myself. Secondly, what I have told you, the constituents of my constant constituency, that becomes my family that you go back to at the end of the day, and of course my mentors. And I can tell you this, I represented as a client. I never represented them in the office because they, together with the team that I worked with, came to us because of the services that we were able to handle. I've never had any personal relationship with him. I don't even know whether he remembers that I was part of that team. You know, when you finish your client's case, they'll walk and go. So for me, at a personal level, there's no nexus that would make me conflicted. And for the people of Kenya, the assurance is this. The way I'll carry myself in that office, then I'll be judged by that. And I can tell you, Prof, is that what guides me is the law. Of course, the structures that are in place, and what is it that I need to do. And even serving in these boards, of course, sometimes brings that conflict where somebody tells you, you got to do this. And I'm like, no, this is what I need to. This is what I need to do. And that has kept me going. And I keep praying that it will keep me going.
Very well. At 40 years, a millennial,
Yes.
you've achieved so much. But just following on what you have said, at 40 years, between 1919 and 2024, serving in 3 boards, don't you think there are people there who are saying, whoa, Kenya, the land of political godfather, she must have a political godfather?
Yes, of course, people say, and actually, people are right to, what somebody thinks, you cannot control what somebody thinks. But when you sit in that office to given then the opportunity to discharge your duties, then they will change. I'll tell you this. I've had a situation where I have been tested. And my principle, what guides me is this. First of all, is that somebody who will want to make me do that which is not right, then does not like me. Because if you tell me, Prof, to steal, I'll be caught and I'll go to court 1 and I'll go to prison. But the people who want me to succeed will support me and encourage me. So that is where I draw the line in the audience that come before me. I may be fired today, but tomorrow somebody else will see the good in me. But if I have an integrity issue, it will keep flagging all the way. Thank you.
My last question. If you are faced with pressure from a prominent political figure to interfere with the election, what steps would you take to maintain impartiality and ethical conduct?
Okay. First of all, I think being approached will not in any way deal with my question of partiality or impartiality, because then I would not be abridged to deal with that. But like, I'll give you an example of how I have dealt with such a situation before, and I hope to deal with it in the same respects. In one of the places that I served, there was a recruitment that was done. I didn't know that when it comes to recruitment is when you see people in their true colors. Yes. So this group had done the recruitment because they were mandated to do the recruitment, did the recruitment, set the criteria, shortlisted, interviewed, came up with a list, and forwarded the same to the committee of the board that is responsible. The committee of the board approved that list, and now it was brought to the board. 7 o'clock in the morning, want to present. The very person says, no, I want to change. I have a different list for this. And said, once you delegate this opportunity, then I have the points. We said, no, we retain the supervisory position. And of course, of cutting the long story short, one of the persons approached me and my colleague, who is 2 years older than me. So we're in the same space. And this person told us that so-and-so, called the big names. I received a call. They told me you're interfering with the CU's working. So you got to let this to pass. I asked the person, okay, you said you're called. You're telling us this other person will be called. So this person, when did they say they will call me and my colleague? Of course, kept quiet. I told them then, in that respect, it means that those instructions were meant for you as opposed to me. What am I saying is that personal judgment, first of all, is important. The scenario, the circumstances, the personal judgment of a person is important. So that in holding such a position, I avoid falling even of being an alarmist when there's nothing, because it can cause chaos. And after going through this process, and if I find favor in this panel, then I believe that you have tested that I can have that personal judgment to first handle it before propelling, because some of these things, it becomes a motive, especially when it deals with IEBC. History has told us as much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I believe you represent a generation that wants some change in the way we do our affairs. And therefore, thank you for that.
Yes, not really the change. It's just, let's just do the things that are supposed to be done. Because I believe even 10 years from now, we'll still have the rules, the regulations that govern. But what you're saying is, if you're in that position to provide service, just provide. You're not doing anybody a favor. Taxpayers' money is being expended on you. You must be accountable. And to whom much is given, much is expected. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You've talked like a philosopher and the chair. Thank you.
Okay, Prof, you want to follow up with some short questions, please?
Sure. I take you to where you belong. Who is the youngest MP ever in Kenya? In other words, at the time they were elected, they've been the youngest in the history of Kenya. I'll give you a leakage.
I know her in a name that might not be formal, maybe. Toto?
I'm not saying the youngest in the current parliament.
Okay. Sorry, my apologies.
The youngest ever. And I was going to give you a leakage.
Please do.
I saw where you are going.
Please do. Thank you.
He was elected in 2017 as an independent candidate.
Mm-hmm. I think he came from the sides of Meru. I would give also a leakage to that extent, but I can't place the name, but I know he came from Meru. He said he had no car and he was given a car.
Thank you. I'll go to the second question on culture and languages. Name 2 African countries where Arabic is an official language.
Arabic. These brothers of ours who are light-skinned, but they're Africans.
30 seconds.
Pardon?
30 seconds remaining.
Professional in informing us and in making that I finally reach here with everything. So that would be my first. The second is, of course, to this selection panel. Thank you very much for according me the opportunity to present myself for the office of the IEBC, and I can only hope that I meet the favor to serve Kenyans in that capacity. Asante.
Thank you very much. We have your certificates with a gentleman you'll find at the door. So feel free, and blessings to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Notebook and the pen are yours. Oh, thank you. There was a member in the gallery. We appreciate you for coming. Thanks for being part of this process. Asante. Thank you. Thank you very much.